where are the low value men? Like, what are all the low value men up to during these trying times? Because the high value men, I know they're around. They won't shut the fuck up. Low value men, I have not heard a word out of. I'm starting to think I'm on their side. I think I want one of those. I want a low value man. They don't make podcasts. I haven't seen one low value man make a podcast. Do they not know how to use microphones? Maybe that's a good thing. That's hot. All right, I've never seen a man use a microphone for good.
Until now, everybody buckle up. It's low value mail time with your host, Danny Polishchuk. What is up, Scroats? Welcome back to a Monday, the new place to be. I sounded like Bill Cosby there for some reason. I don't know why. Was that just me? The new home of Low Value Mail, Monday nights at 9 p.m., which is right now. Sorry to start a couple minutes late. Got a little technical snafu, but you don't care about that, do you? It's not important. What's important is that this is episode number 102 of Low Value Mail on this April Fool's 2024. What a bunch of fools we are. But our guest, who's joining me today, is absolutely not a fool. We have Doenut from Doenut Factory YouTube channel. He also runs do-nut.com. It's Doenut, but DOE-nut.com, the online destination for strange news, phenomenons, occult symbols in the media, and entertainment. And he's going to be joining us very shortly. And, of course, taking your calls. Is anybody else bothered by the fact that I wasn't exactly centered here? Is anybody's OCD flaring up? Or do you have other flare-ups? I'm looking at the 80% of you that have herpes. All right. So we got much to talk about. I'm going to bring him on very shortly. Before we do so, please like and subscribe. Hit the like button. There's only 30% of you have liked the stream, even though of who are watching. So just hit the like button. Just do it. Why would you not do it? And also, if you're listening to this show, please leave a rating and review over on Spotify, Apple Music. I think they discontinued Google Podcasts. Is that true? Do you guys listen to Google Podcasts? Did they? I guess you guys don't because you're all YouTube watchers. But I think they discontinued. If what I saw was correct, it's been totally discontinued. So that's it's kind of interesting. If you'd like to support the show, before I was saying support the show to help me get a producer, but now I actually have a producer. And I won't threaten him by saying support the show to help me keep the producer because he's not going anywhere. If anything, it's you guys. But we do have a producer now. Mark from My Family Thinks I'm Crazy podcast is helping me out with this show. He is also answering the calls, so we actually have an orderly and proper way to answer the call. So if you call in, you will not be talking to me right away. You'll be talking to Mark. You'll be put in the queue. It'll be very democratic and fair in that regard. You'll be put in the queue, and you will have your call answered in turn versus before when I literally just was fucking playing whack-a-mole and I would just pick them up and, you know, it was a nightmare. It was a borderline nightmare. But anyways, if you want to help support the show and help us grow, $5 a month. And I mean, the main thing is if you're one of the many thousands and thousands of audio listeners of this podcast, there's ads on these podcasts. You can get it ad-free for like $1 an episode. If you listen to The Bathhouse, it's like 8 episodes divided by $5. It's like 60 cents or something. Is that right? Yeah, it's like 60 cents an episode. Anyways, if you want to, otherwise don't. If, you know, it's a tough economy right now. Inflation, shrinkflation. That's the type that affects fat people the most. And tomorrow night, 9 p.m., we have a new episode of The Bathhouse because The Bathhouse is now 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. I know there's so much change happening so fast. I'm sorry to foist this all on you at once, but it just is what it is. It'll be so much better that way. We're going to have nice long episodes of The Bathhouse versus before when sometimes they'd only be like an hour because we'd get kicked out of the comedy club. So that's good. And finally, if you'd like to see me live doing stand-up comedy jokes, you can catch me in upcoming, in less than 2 weeks, Fairfield, Connecticut. Tickets are on sale there. Hamilton, Ontario, April 19th and 20th. That's kind of a hometown. ish show. Dallas at the end of the month, / Plano, Texas. Minneapolis, Edmonton, Vancouver, go to dannycomedy.com or dannyjokes.com, but not gay.jew. And if you don't know what a reference that is a reference to, it's too bad. Ask someone to tell you. All right, without further ado, let's bring on the man of the hour, Mr. Doenut himself. You there?
Yo, what up? It's
Let's go. It is Doenut. How's it going, man? Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Yo, what up? It's Doenut. Thank you so much for having me on.
You got a cat?
Yeah.
This is the first time we've had a cat on the show. Nice. Oh, that's a pretty docile cat, to be honest. Normally they're not that. Most cats will not let you do that. Most cats will claw your fucking face off. Man, he's chill. He old?
Yeah. He's 10.
Oh, okay. That's how old my dog is.
He's seen a lot of weird stuff.
I bet. So you give people an introduction for people who don't know you. I guess that's a good place to start here.
It's Doenut. I cover all your Illuminati news and got a cat.
Nice. Excellent. All the Illuminati news. So I was watching because I'm going to be down in Texas this weekend / next week to check out this eclipse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And I've been seeing all these things about these eclipse preparedness business. And then I saw on a recent episode of yours that you were talking about this eclipse stuff. So I think considering this is something that's so, I mean, it's everybody's going to be, I don't know if everybody's going to be affected by the eclipse, but what do we have to worry about with this eclipse, Mr. Doenut?
Well, it's the end. It's the end. No,
oh, okay. I guess there's going to be no episode next week. Actually, there isn't going to be an episode next week because I'm going to be in Dallas watching the eclipse.
So the eclipse coming up, what I've been uncovering is that a lot of rituals happen on astrological alignments. For example, there's a secret society, Skull and Bones, which is 322. And on the 322 date, we had that tragic event happen in Moscow. And I've been kind of connecting a lot of different numbers. If you look at the movie by the Obamas, Leave the World Behind, it was released on 128. And that bridge just collapsed, which was like pretty much frame by frame shot of that big cargo ship coming by, collapsing the bridge at exactly 1:28 a.m. So like there's some weird astrological alignments. It's very important to Illuminati figures. With the eclipse, that we get eclipse all the time. So I don't think it's the end. The eclipse happens all the time, but there is a lot of strange stuff being prepared for it. Absolutely. A lot of strange stuff.
What kind, do you have any kind of examples, kind of tips? Should I be worried? Because there's some like states that are doing state of emergencies in advance. They're like, we're going to do a state of emergency in advance. It's like, it's fucking thing's 4 minutes long.
Well, I think that this month, April Fool's Day, it's the first of the month and it's Monday. You know, I know you changed it from Tuesday to Monday.
Yeah.
And Monday is Moon Day. And that's what it's named after, the moon. And more heart attacks happen on Monday. When people are going to work around that time, I heard. So I try not to work on Monday, but I like what I do. I'm sure you like what you do. So it's not like work.
Sure. But I mean, the eclipse is going to be on a Monday.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. So the eclipse is going to be on a Monday. They're activating CERN that day. And when CERN gets activated, strange things happen. For example, you got the Aurora Borealis behind you, right? This plasma. The ancients used to think that it was demons because it smelled like sulfur, and that's like been connected to ghosts, the Aurora Borealis.
Sure.
And when CERN was activated in 2022, the same day Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where Mount Rushmore is, turned green. So I think there's a connection. I'm looking out for actually Sioux Falls on April 8th to see if it turns green because they're digging up dark matter. I don't even know what the heck that is.
They're digging up dark matter?
I don't know what that is, but Cat Williams' tour is called Dark Matter. But Sioux Falls turned green with the Aurora Borealis. I like saying that word. Uh, and so when this eclipse happens, they're activating that, but it's very occult because that's when Aleister Crowley, secret agent 666, summoned this entity called Iowas on that date. So April's going to be strange. It's the first of the month. We're in Aries, so look out for war and disorder. And with that
I
disorder,
thought we already got
comes
that
order.
though. We almost have the war and disorder already. We're saying more war and disorder potentially.
Oh, for sure. I'm very jaded, and so is the rest of the world. That a big event can happen, and then we're gonna forget about it and move on. It is apathy. So all the times we see all this crazy stuff happening 24/7 on Twitter, which the first post on Twitter was on 322.
Ever?
Yeah. The first Jack Dorsey's first tweet was on 322. It was 321 in America, but in another country it was 322. So um everybody watching Twitter, watching like a snuff film right now.
A lot of people watching stuff films on Twitter right now.
And The Purge. Remember that movie that all the soccer moms love? The Purge,
Yeah.
where it's like a very Freudian civilization, and it's this cathartic experience to just go out and rampage because everyone hates themselves because we live in this unnatural environment. And I believe that this AI Google algorithms making every culture dislike each other and not trust each other through some sort of tribal engagement with the AI doing this. So Twitter's, I think, responsible for the division. But yeah, there's disorder, but we're very apathetic, and there's going to be more.
Okay. Okay. Well, good to know. Hopefully, it's just a quick little vacation for me and not any sort of. I hope I don't get like. You say that so casually. You go, yeah, there's all this bad stuff, but like it'll probably be fine now.
Well, everything that we were scared of, for today, yes, like everything that we were scared of yesterday is today in a sense, so everything that we were fearful of, we've already experienced it. We already did it. Like we in the imagination.
Do you have any thoughts on this whole Havana syndrome thing is popping off right now? Because there was
it's popping up.
I don't know. Have you done any?
Oh yeah. This goes into the 5th generation warfare where they're shooting out frequencies, and the story comes and goes as the news wants it to come and go. So now they're saying it's real, but last month they're saying it's not real. Then the month before that, they're saying it's real. It's absolutely real. It's these energies, like vibrational energies. You could read about it in the LeMay papers, in 2018 LeMay papers, that it's 5th generation warfare. It's in the movie Leave the World Behind too. Remember the kid? Have you seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
no.
okay. Well,
when's that from?
The Obamas produced this film.
Oh, this is from the Obama movie.
Yeah, Leave the World Behind. It's about this cyber incident that takes place. And it's weird because ever since that movie was released, these events that are in the movie have been transpiring in reality. And they talk about winter solstice rituals, going into the astrology of stuff. And but the Havana syndrome, the kid gets hit with these frequencies and his teeth start falling out.
Damn. I saw the one lady and she had like had to get all these whatever in her brain. She had all these crazy stitches on the side of her head and stuff. But you don't have any theories behind the Havana syndrome about what other than there's just some weapon that just more so the media just picks and chooses when they decide it's real or not, which is kind of what they do with a lot of shit.
Yeah, for sure they do that, but the way the simulacrum works, like before, back when it was the H.G. Wells day, where we have War of the Worlds on one radio station, saying there's a blue beam agenda, like a fake alien invasion happening on the radio, and everyone believed it. Well, not everyone, but people believed it. Today we have so many different devices. So we have a cell phone, computer, tons of different shows to watch. If you're tuning in now, make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. uh,
Thanks, Steve.
so the simulacrum has to put messaging, like predictive programming messaging in everything, movies, billboards, TVs, even Mountain Dew, everything. They got to get us ready for a certain event to come. And I think that's going to be like a 3 day or maybe just 1 day of darkness in a located city or something. I forget what we were talking about.
Well, we were talking about the Havana syndrome, but then you said there's darkness in a located city, and I'm going to be going to a certain city that's going to have a period of darkness.
Yeah, but you're in Texas. Like
Oh.
Texas, that's in Texas, bro.
Oh,
Like,
okay. So,
safe in Texas. You
oh,
know?
safe in Texas. So, I mean, people are going to go do that shit in Buffalo, New York. That's on the path. You think
Yeah,
shit's-
yeah.
But so you're saying that all this stuff and all this kind of like symbolism or whatever that's being kind of just interwoven into everything is going to culminate to a head with some sort of 1 day of darkness?
No, I think I think that's what it's planning for. I think that's the next event, and that's not even me saying it. That is Klaus Schwab saying that. That he says that's going to be the next big thing. Even in the book written called 1 Second After about this event happening where everything goes dark, there's an eclipse on the cover, and the ancients have always connected to the eclipse with like a king passing away, or war, or even earthquakes. So there might be an earthquake this month too. So just the symbolism there with the eclipse, and then connecting it to some pitch black out event. And on
Yeah.
Mountain Dew, for example, there's a Mountain Dew called Pitch Black, and there's a comet doing the devil horns. And during this eclipse, we'll be able to see a comet called the Devil Comet doing the devil horns. I don't know. I think that it is predictive programming for an event like that to happen.
Crazy.
But don't be,
Okay.
it's going to be fine, though. You're going to be good.
Yeah, don't sweat it. It's going to be totally all good. So, okay. What kind of others? Because you're really into like a lot of the occult stuff, a lot of the similar. So what kind of stuff are you really into at the moment that kind of is catching your interest?
Well, I just got to do a podcast with Sam Tripoli and see his
Oh.
comedy show.
Nice.
And I could go on stage.
Oh, how'd that
and,
go?
like, bro, it went so good. Like my dream, my whole life, I always wanted to be a comedian. And I was just so scared to talk in front of a stage of people. So I said, I'm just gonna be a filmmaker in a sense and just do videos. And so it was like awesome because I got the audience laughing. I was making jokes and it was cool.
Nice. Where was that at?
It was in Florida.
In Florida? Oh, okay, cool. So you got to hang out with Sam Tripoli. So yeah. What kind of stuff though? Like, you know, in terms of this occult stuff, because it seems like the world of occult is massive. Like I had Isaac Weishaupt on here, maybe 6 months ago, something like that, and he was kind of telling me about it. But it's from time to time. Yeah, he's the man. From time to time, guests will kind of, you know, discuss that kind of stuff. So I'm just curious, like, what are there like specific things that you're kind of into right now, or?
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be talking to Charles Moskowitz tomorrow, which is gonna be fascinating. Because I'm Jewish, you know, so I'm going through the whole. He's a Jewish, and he talks about Illuminati too. So it'd be nice to talk to somebody.
I'm also Jewish. I don't know if that helps.
No, I know. It was gayjew.com.
Oh, yeah, no, it's gay.jew. It's an expensive. Yeah, it's a joke from our podcast, but it's an expensive website. $400 a year.
So I've been doing some research for that interview, just going over all the stuff happening right now, different perspective of everything happening. So I'm always looking at a different thing. I'm so passionate about dolphins. I love dolphins. I talk about Illuminati dolphins.
What are Illuminati dolphins? Oh, that's a solid.
it's your passionate topic of mine.
Yeah.
Is
But like,
the
are you
Illumin-
saying like the Illuminati are actually like they are dolphins, or the Illuminati control
the
dolphins?
reptilian thing was all wrong. They dolphins actually, like in the Simpsons. And they gonna come into land and start. There is a Simpsons episode, and I'm being joking, but there is a Simpsons episode about dolphins that come and control the world. And
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
that was a crazy episode. But the research started from Robert Anton Wilson's Illuminatus trilogy, because he always had dolphins on the cover, and I thought it looked cool. And I'm reading his whole book, and then he brings up this guy, John C. Lilly, and looked into John C. Lilly doing the studies on the dolphins, where this is an MK Ultra figure that people don't really know about. He taught at the Esalen Institute, and the Esalen Institute is where Charles Manson went to right before he did his slangs, these ritualistic slangs. Really sketchy organization out in Big Sur, California, but it doesn't seem sketchy because they push new age, kind of hippy dippy Lululemon stuff. But he taught there, and this guy was funded by the government to study the dolphins, because the dolphins' brains are very similar to our brains. They're bigger, but they're the most similar than any other mammal.
Right.
And yeah. And so they were studying the dolphins so they could communicate with the aliens in the ocean. And most UFOs are coming out of the ocean, the reports of it. The UFO thing's a whole psyop though, too. But this guy, John C. Lilly, he was playing with the dolphins, touching the dolphins, getting sexual with the dolphins, giving them acid. They were having a great
Gave
time.
acid to dolphins?
Yeah, they were giving
What
them
happens when
acid.
you give acid to dolphins?
I don't know, but they had such a good time that when he decided to end the experiment because he was communicating with them in a deprivation tank, like Joe Rogan goes into the deprivation tank. He was like the creator of this deprivation tank. He goes in it, he communicates with them. And when he decided to end the experiment to free the dolphins, they killed themselves by not eating anymore. So they must have really enjoyed it, but they got them to yeah, they got them to
Have you ever been swimming with dolphins?
in Israel, I swam with the dolphins, and I touched one of the dolphins, and the gay scuba instructor splashed me. He said, "No, touch the dolphin." And
You just get to swim with them, but no touching the dolphins.
I touched the dolphin though.
Yeah, hands off the merchandise though is kind of the what they're going with there. So you're really into dragon symbolism, right?
We're in the year of the dragon. Yeah.
That's like the Chinese thing, like the Chinese year of the dragon,
which is based off of the moon, kind of like the Jews based off the moon too. And that ends on the 128 day of the year next year. So this 128 number is super important. That bridge just collapsed at 128 a.m. The Leave the World Behind movie was released on 128, starring Julia Roberts, whose birthday's 10/28, which is 128 because you always remove the zero in numerology. Even her boyfriend, the guy from Friends, which the show is about, that Leave the World Behind is about it, died on her birthday on 10/28, 128. The Twin Towers started to collapse at 10/28 in the morning. So you just see this number show up in its pattern recognition. It's something I've been looking into. And it's something that I called. I said, a bridge going to collapse. I thought it was going to be San Francisco Bridge.
You called the bridge collapsing?
Yeah, me and my friend Tommy Truthful, we've been talking about the bridge are going to collapse, and it's going to be connected to this number 128. We thought it was going to happen on like January 28. You got Joe Biden, for example. He sent the emergency text message out at 2:18, 2 minutes early. And that is 128, just in a different pattern. And I know this sounds crazy when you get into the
And now, I have a question about this. Now, are these like, when something like you say, they sent out the text early, are they intentionally doing that, or is that just more of a kind of some sort of cosmic alignment?
Well, you got to ask the question. The last time one of these text message alerts was an accident was in Hawaii,
Yeah.
where for some reason they accidentally hit a button that sent everyone in Hawaii a message saying that an ICBM was coming to get them. And everybody went into like bunkers and hid and thought it was the end. Now, they sent that out at 8:08 a.m. and the 808 area code on 808 Lahaina went up into flames. So there's like a connection. It could be some organic source code. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that there's a mixture of both. You know, I think it's a mixture of both, or maybe it's like a spiritual thing. Like I have no
But
idea.
so the dragon symbolism, what does that? I mean, you're just talking about like the year of the dragon, and you're talking about all these events. Like, how do they tie in with any of that? And does that mean we have more stuff coming, or like is there is there a predictive element of this?
Absolutely. So I was able to predict all the UFO stuff for the year of the rabbit. For example, year of the rabbit, you had the Mexican aliens in Congress, right? From UNESCO going to the Congress in Mexico. Remember that? You had the UFO going over the Super Bowl with the balloons. A lot of UFO on the Illuminati founding date, May 1st, a UFO crashed in Las Vegas. You had the girl on the plane see some sort of shape-shifting alien on National UFO Day.
Yeah. Was that National UFO Day?
It was. Not many people know about that.
I never heard that.
Yeah, that's why I'm always looking at the dates, because I was reading the Economist magazine, the 2002 edition, and they talked about how important National UFO Day was. They went into it. And if you look at movies and cinema, every time you see a bunny, it's connected to a UFO. For example, Bugs Bunny was the first abductee by Marvin the Martian. If you watch the movie Gremlins, Bugs Bunny's next to E.T. in the closet. The movie Knowing, they go into the plane carrying the bunnies. There's a bunny on the moon as well. So there's this bunny connection. So I'm like, it's the year of the rabbit.
What do you mean there's a bunny on the moon?
If you look at the moon, there's a bunny rabbit on it. And the people who are releasing this top classified information is Blink 182, which is a bunny logo in the shape of a swastika, which is straight connected to Scientology as well. And Harold
their logo is a bunny rabbit in this, a swastika? Really? I have to pull this up right now.
It's crazy. But check this out, bro. We're all connect. So it's either I'm schizophrenic or there's some connection, because Blink 182 is 128 as well. You know, so there's that number. And on in the day leaving 182 days until the end of the year, I believe
it's the halfway point.
I believe it's July 20th. Or no, it's not July 20th. There's a connection to I forget what it is. I think it's National UFO Day leaves 182 days.
July 1st is the 182nd day of the year.
But
which is Canada Day. Day.
What about a leap year?
Would be a 183rd on 182nd day, July 1st, 183rd during leap years.
Yeah, so it's 182, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about there, but
I think
whatever. Mandela effect.
Yeah. All right, the phone lines are open, everybody. If you have any questions for Doenut, you can call in 1-888-949-2969. So you probably have a lot of strong opinions on what we have happening for the remainder of the year, especially with this year of the dragon stuff. Do you have any predictions for because this is a big year, right? We got an election, we have multiple wars going on. I mean, God knows what else is going to be coming in. Are you worried about this year?
No, I'm not worried. I think there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff for sure, but like you gotta have faith and all that. Like people have been going through crazy stuff forever. It's part of the human experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't actually put a ton of credence, at least into this in that sense.
No, I'm powerless over the world. I'm just like all I can do is have a good attitude and take action. Those are the only two things I'm in control of.
Yeah, and that's probably a pretty good way of going about it. So you were, I saw one of your videos. You were talking about this homunculus thing.
Ooh,
Yeah, can you tell people about that? Because I'd only heard about it before. I didn't know too much about it, but you guys did a pretty like in-depth video, which you can check out obviously on your YouTube channel.
sure. So I talked to the leading homunculologist, the one-on-one podcast, because we podcast. He brought up homunculus. I've been looking into homunculus. I was like, what the heck is a homunculus?
So what is homunculus for people who don't?
It is a created little man. So it's like you create a little man, or it could be like a golem. So like you pretty much, or a Smurf, like you create like a little person, and you create a little man, and that's what the guy who created toxicology was doing and wrote about. His name's Paracelsus, and this is where we get modern day toxicology from. So this homunculus thing was very, very like well known in the past, and to create one, you got to find the biggest dog's wang in like the vicinity of your neighborhood. Yeah, and then you got to beat a cow carcass to like where it turns into like just liquid, and then you can create something. It's crazy. It's
what like civilization does this come from?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You have to vaporize a cow?
You gotta beat the cow with like the biggest dog wang in your vicinity. So it's gotta be in your neighborhood.
And then it makes one of these little people?
I think there's more to it to create the person, but this is how like they believe that's how you create.
Who believes this?
Well, Paracelsus wrote about it. These were all like alchemists of the day as well. I don't know because I'm not the leading like expert on it.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it's a fascinating thing.
Interesting. All right, let's take a call here. 1 moment, please. Oh, actually, it says he's here. Are you there, caller? Oh, here we go. Oh, that's weird. Said that. Oh, here we go.
Hello?
Caller, are you there? Caller. Yes, you are on Low Value Mail.
Hi.
Who am I speaking with?
Oh my God. My name's Kevin.
What's up, Kevin? How's it going?
Doing all right. How are you
Excellent.
guys doing?
We are very good. Or I can speak for myself. I'm very good. How about you, Doenut?
Very good. Very, very good. Thank you.
Excellent. So what's up, Kevin?
Nice. Well, my question was, your guest,
Yeah.
Trump, Biden.
That's it? Just Trump or like, is that you're asking his personal preference or who's going to win?
I mean, well, this is just like the beginning of like a whole conversation, and really it has nothing to do with politics, but I just want to throw out like a meme question to start off. But really, like everything that has been talked about so far is also really interesting to talk about. So,
well,
I don't really have that good of a thing.
Whoever becomes the president, I gotta pour my Fago. Gotta get my Fago up in here first.
Yes, sir.
Whoever becomes the next president will be the 47th president. This is super important.
Why 47?
Why?
Because the Masonic compass is at a 47 degree. When the bridge collapsed, the water was at 47 degrees. They made sure to put that in like the newspaper. And if you watch the show,
What? Really?
Yeah, if you watch the show House of Cards, Claire Underwood becomes the 47th president after the other guy gets whacked. Yeah, Kevin Spacey gets whacked. She becomes the 47th president. Now, America was built by Freemasons, and the cities and the towns are all based off of Knights Templar, Freemason stuff. It's very important to the country of America. So that symbolism is important. So whoever it becomes, I think it's going to be Kamala. Like Joe Biden can slip on a Easter egg or something. And like,
But do you think he's going to win and then they're going to replace him with her?
There's a lot of people saying that there won't even be an election this year. Like really wicked, smart, top official general people, like not even in this realm of what I'm looking into with the structure of magic and stuff like that. Like they're saying that there ain't going to even be an election this year. Who knows? Like,
all right.
But
well, I really hope there will be one. I can't even vote, but I hope there will be one.
Are you a felon?
No, I'm Canadian.
Oh,
yeah, same thing.
We're going to start blaming Canada pretty soon.
Anything else, caller?
Huh?
Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Oh, no.
All right. Thanks,
Talk to
man.
you later.
All right.
Yeah, I think Kamala Harris, though, could become the 47th president before the elections approach, because there's a lot of Freemasonic symbolism with her.
Okay. All right, let's take another caller here. Hello. Oh, let's see if we can figure this out.
Hey.
Here. Rafe.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Oh, it's doing well. Very
good. Very good. Go ahead.
So my main question was, I was kind of like turned on to like conspiracies, like in the fun way, Loch Ness monster,
chemtrails,
Bigfoot, except yeah. Well, also and then also my dad was like JFK,
right? Yeah, of course.
That was something. But is there any other like cryptids or like fun things that you think are like legit, maybe?
Bro, like the Loch Ness monster is a worm. If they give us this image of the Loch Ness monster and we think it's like a dinosaur, but it's a worm through the research that me and Anya Saru one-on-one podcast, Tommy Truth, all the people I podcast with, we have figured out that it's most likely a worm because there was I'm going to say it wrong. Aleister Crowley was doing the Amalantra workings or something like that in this house that Jimmy Page, I believe, purchased, which is on Loch Ness. That he was doing this type of Babylon workings or something like that, called it's all connected to worms. So that thing sticking out is more of a worm, like an entity or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not like super convinced on. The only reason I would be convinced on the Loch Ness monster is because those lakes got formed so late, and but they also got formed super quick from geology standards. So someone could be something could be sealed in there from way back, but no one's ever gonna know that.
There's a great movie by Werner Herzog, and it's not by Werner Herzog actually. It's a mockumentary where they told him they were gonna go do research on the Loch Ness monster, but it was a hoax. It's hilarious.
I think it's funny too. Honestly, is there anything like super fresh that's like on your mind, like related to like aliens or anything like that, with all this like new mumbo jumbo coming out from the government saying we've seen them and shit like that?
Absolutely. Like right here, if you could see this is the Mars Attacks Martians brain.
Oh man, great movie.
I'm a big Mars Attack fan. That was my Lion King when I was a kid.
It was my Lion King as well. And I grew up in Vegas where they filmed it, and I lived in the neighborhood.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I lived in the neighborhood where they were filming it in, and they filmed it at like a mafia house that was in my neighborhood. But this is the alien and Mars Attacks brain, and this is a dolphin brain. And I thought they looked very similar. And even their flag is the Illuminati eye and pyramid. And even they do the donut sign as well. But the whole thing is they're setting up a new religion. The Illuminati and this type of like order, new order, they want to wipe out all religious like ideology of believing in God. It's not just, yo, they're trying to get rid of this one religion, and that's not it. It's all the different belief systems. And then what they're going to do is get everybody on some sort of mushroom or ayahuasca or whatever it is, something that they can reset the autonomic nervous system for.
For everybody?
For everybody, yeah.
You don't think? I'm gonna leave you finish. Go ahead.
Say that again.
He just said he'll let you finish.
Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, so they're setting up a new religion, and the UFO is part of that. So the whole belief in aliens, you got X-Files. It says I believe, because it's a belief system that they're putting into everybody. It's an atheist sort of religion with lighting incense. And that's what's happening right now, because they want to get rid of all the Abrahamic religions and bring in a new world religion.
I mean, so you don't think that's like some like conspiracy fucking Christian nutjob shit at all? You don't think that's like a conspiracy at all?
It's mixed in with all the different, like, I'm still learning this topic, so I've been doing a lot of research on it. But there's a mixture of like extreme ideologies that like get kind of crazy out there. But I believe
that's every religion, though. You know, everyone's going to go a little extreme, and every religion, every political ideology or whatever it is. But I've met a lot of people that are from different religions all across the United States. I feel like most people, are leaving to get away from that shit and be like, hey, maybe we'll bow down, once a day, but we're not doing 5 times a day. But also, the couple that slip in, they're also like, let's fucking blow this place up. So it's like, it's a fucking dicey fucking, road to go on.
Oh, yeah. I think like a lot of religion has been utilized by the elites for bloodshed rituals and control, for sure. But that doesn't poo-poo all the great like religious people and the stuff that you can also get from
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anything else, Rafe?
No. You guys have a good night.
Appreciate it.
You
Thanks,
too.
man.
Thank you.
Rafe, everybody.
I'm still trying to like work that whole like thing out. I'm doing a lot of research and asking questions and interviewing.
Yeah, trying to put it together. All right, let's take another call. One moment, please. I don't know how.
These are some good calls.
Yeah. We got some solid callers on the show. Hello, caller. You there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, yes, we can hear you. This is Matt.
What's going on? Hey, Doenut. Yeah, this is Matt. I mean, Dave Doenut knows me. This is Truth Seeker, Matt. Hey, I just wanted to ask you.
Oh, Truth Seeker, what up, dog?
Yeah. What's up, brother? What up, brother? I just wanted to ask you, do you feel that this upcoming eclipse could be a actual distraction with all like the fear that they keep trying to create with all of this, because they keep, every day it's like another headline about all the schools being canceled or state of emergency in Niagara and whatever else. Like, do you feel this could be a big psyop?
Oh, it's absolutely part of the psyop. Yeah, because if you look at the Economist magazine for this year, the cover is Trump on the eclipse. Like, the eclipse is very, very important for the psychological operation happening this year. Absolutely, Truth Seeker. I heard that you were on Alex's show. Is that true?
Yeah, I've been on his show before.
That's crazy.
He's an awesome guy. He's actually a buddy of mine too, man. He's an awesome dude, man. He always be bringing that wicked smart information. And one more thing I wanted to ask you. Do you feel that maybe with this upcoming eclipse, maybe this could be a way for them to have an excuse to block the sun out? That's all I wanted to ask.
Block the sun out permanently?
Yeah, well, they've been talking about it. Actually, if you go back and look, Bill Gates actually has talked about blocking the sun out. All these billionaires have been talking about blocking the sun out. And then you have NASA shooting those 3 rockets, at the eclipse on the day of the eclipse.
Yeah, they are shooting. What is up with the NASA rockets that they're shooting on the day of the eclipse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to ask. Great show.
Yeah. No,
thanks,
good. Thank you for the call. Yeah. They're calling it a pep, which goes into the god of disorder, which is also like a serpent. And the serpent and the dragon are very similar. It's all symbolic. I saw that there was a Simpsons episode too with the blocking out the sun. I'm not sure, but Bill Gates' birthday is on 10/28, I think, too.
Is that true?
I think so, but I could be wrong about that.
Bill Gates' birthday, October 10/28. Yep.
Yeah, so this number just pops up like over and over again. Or it's schizophrenia.
Yeah, might be one of those. Let's take another call here. One moment, please. And thank you very much, everyone, for calling in. Appreciate all your questions. Hold on. Hello.
Hey, is this Danny?
Yes, this is Danny. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, this is Cosmo. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, what's up, Cosmo?
No, I wanted to see if there was if you guys had any idea. Do you think there's the people in charge or somebody knows something that there's a reason we're going to have to go underground? That's why they have the National Guards in the subways and the
National Guard thing in the subways.
Yeah,
I mean, I live in New York, and it's like I saw them the other day. They don't do fucking anything. Like they just are standing there.
I know, but if
they're not even searching bags anymore. Yeah. I don't.
They're going to maintain order if that happens. I mean, the guys in Brooklyn with digging the tunnels. Do they know something? The black sun Nazi symbol, is that something? I mean, I don't know.
The elites have been. It's been connected to the whole UFO dialogue in like the UFO field for a long time, where there's these underground bases that the elites are going to. Elon, for example, got a boring company that is digging. So it goes into it was very important. Like there's bases all over the place. I'm not.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I could say with the New York stuff, it's like literally just people keep getting fucking stabbed and shit on the train, and they're just so incompetent.
Yeah.
They'd rather like put the National Guard down there than just like lock.
They're not doing
up.
anything.
It's just like they do that so then they don't have to actually like enforce the laws, right? Because they go, oh well, we'll prevent the crimes from happening by putting like a National Guard down there. But like I think it was like the second day after the National Guard there was a shooting on the train, so.
Or it could be preemptive before the riots happen down there. They're there ahead of time.
Maybe, yeah. They're not in every station though. They're only like the National Guards. I've only seen them at like Times Square, basically.
But what's happening is there like a lot of like robberies or something going on.
There honestly, what it is there's a lot of fucking crazy people who once upon a time would have been in like a mental institution. But they stopped using mental institutions, so now they just like roam the streets here because they're like, they're not committing any, even though they are committing tons of crimes. Dude, I saw a guy literally before the show started. I went out to go grab a drink from the 7-Eleven, and there was this crazy dude twerking naked on fucking on 8th Avenue, like with his fucking I saw this guy's asshole. Like, and there was like there are cops everywhere. Like nobody does anything, man. Like it's just, there's all these people who have like severe mental illnesses, and normally they would have been given some sort of help in the past, or at least like locked away. And now they're just like, let them run loose. And so they're causing all sorts of fucking mayhem.
Dang. Man, it sounds like Las
Oh.
Vegas. That's where I grew up. It was just like, I just saw the weirdest stuff.
Oh man. Around this studio, like it's like near Madison Square Garden, it's mental. It's a lot of shit. But anyways, yeah, in terms of like the sending us underground, that I don't know. I mean, I hope not.
I hope not. Well, we'll see after Monday. Good luck, guys.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will see about that. I really hope that doesn't happen. All right, let's take a call from we got Sonny on the line here. One moment, please. Sorry if we've had a little hiccups here. Just still trying to figure out this whole brand new system.
You're doing amazing. This show is awesome.
Yo. Sonny, are you there?
Yeah, what's good, guys? What's good,
Let's
man?
go. What's up, man?
I'm from the NFS podcast. I've been on Mark's show. He threw the number up in the Telegram, so I decided to call in.
Oh, cool.
So I got a couple things. I'm also from New York, but before we get to that, this red heifer thing, bro, with the eclipse, like, what's going on with that?
Did you say red heifer?
Yeah, the red heifer and the eclipse, like, all these things happening at once. It's even too biblical, bro. Like,
can you elaborate on this red heifer thing a little bit more, please? Just for people who
you ever heard about the red heifer?
I think I heard something kind of maybe casually, but I don't.
The red heifer. Okay, let me explain. So basically, with the red heifer, this is all supposed to be happening around the eclipse. Also, it's like a prophecy, and I'm gonna get this completely wrong. But it's basically a prophecy in the Bible. Well, I don't know if it's the Bible or the Torah, but one of the Hebrew books, right? And basically, but when it's time for Jesus to come back or for the Lord to come to the earth, they have to sacrifice a red heifer. And apparently, they've been talking about it, like the small cats. They want to do this, so they're trying to speed up the process. So they're looking for a red heifer that was supposed to be born, I think, 7 years ago. So they're in the search of the red heifer to fulfill the prophecy, right? So that's one aspect of it, right? So then you guys are talking about the moon and like how NASA wants to shoot rockets up to the moon, and that just made me think, like, what if they're like, this is all just like them trying to like wage war on the aliens? Because like, why would we send a rocket to the dark side of the moon? Like, what's going on?
I mean, I do want to know more about these rockets because I heard, I as far as I understand, that is happening, right? But I don't. I haven't heard a reason why. Do we have a reason why? It says right here, the space station. Now, this is from NASA, obviously, but it says 3 rockets will launch as part of the atmospheric perturbations around Eclipse Path mission from NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. They will be tasked with taking observations of how the sudden drop in sunlight affects the ionosphere. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Who knows what's really going on? But all right, so that's a little weird. And you know what else is kind of weird to me? Like the solar eclipse symbolism. Like now they're saying that it's supposed to last a couple of days. Like I just feel like there's weird like symbolism like with that and like the resurrection of Jesus, like the sun coming back after a couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
The eclipse is going to be, no, I think it's like the full eclipse is only like 4 minutes. I don't think it's a couple of days.
Okay.
I think the whole thing lasts
that's all confused.
Yeah, no. The whole thing is going to last, I think, several hours. And then the actual, like, full eclipse is, depending where you are, is going to be, like, I think 4 minutes is what I read. You have any insight into this, Doenut?
I'm pretty ignorant on the whole red heifer thing, but I heard that that's happening, that they found these red heifers in Texas. I've been hearing about it for years now. So it was interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I'll look into it more.
Yeah, and I also like to tie in some more stuff that you guys were just talking about. Like me being from New York also, like I've always thought about like the underground cities and shit, but you know what kind like there was like a eureka moment almost. It was like revelation of the method. You guys remember Futurama?
Yeah.
What was the basic premise of that? They built New York on top of they built New York on top of New York. So it's like what like in a weird way, like you see how they talk about Tartaria and they build on top. What if this is just the next episode of that?
The next iteration.
Well, like New York is then you're saying Futurama's New York. Well, New York is the New York because York was where the Roman Empire's headquarters was located. So like New York is the new Rome.
Yeah.
That's what Jordan Maxwell used to say.
Huh. How long have you lived in New York for, caller?
What I want to say, like 17 years?
So you say 18 years?
17 years or so.
17 years. Are you born in New York? Like, are you 17?
It's a weird story, but yeah, let's just say that. No, I'm not 17, but
no, you're not 17.
I was born here.
And you left and then you came back. Oh, okay. And do you think New York's worse than it used to be?
So when I started my podcast, I used to say, yo, they're overdoing it. So like, the man isn't as bad as I thought it was. Because at first we were just seeing, like, where I worked at, I would see like the migrants coming in, but I would see like the families and the single mothers and all that. But then, like, after a while, I started seeing like more and more the military age men come over, and then I started doing like a little game because the guys would come in and ask for jobs, and then I'll just ask them like, yeah, we're not hiring, but like, where are you from? Where you came from?
Right.
And they'll be like, yeah, I came from this place in Africa or this, that, and that. And then I was I started getting a little fresh. I'm like, yeah, so you paid a lot of money to get here.
Yeah. I mean,
they'll climb up usually.
Yeah, it definitely ain't cheap.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. Oh yeah, go ahead. What's that?
All right. No, that's good. No, I was just saying that the price is around 10,000.
Oh, yeah, to get to America. Honestly, good deal. That's a fucking really good deal. As someone who's not from here,
right.
great deal. All right, thanks, man. All right, let us take another call. I don't know what the order is supposed to be here, but I'm pretty sure it's this one.
And you were just in Scottsdale recently?
I was just in Scottsdale, yeah. Is that where you're at?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was just at the House of Comedy in Scottsdale. Goob, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What is happening? We got Goob on the line. What's up?
Yeah, Danny, this might be good for one of your after shows, but the homunculus you were talking about, the homunculi earlier, were you potentially referencing the Russian guys who were making homunculi with eggs in their sperm, and they're on YouTube with it, showing their creations?
Sorry, say this again. There's Russian guys on YouTube who are, mixing their sperm with eggs?
Yeah, and creating homunculi that are alive and moving. And
human eggs or chicken eggs?
Various eggs, but yeah, chicken eggs.
So there's YouTube videos where guys mix their sperm with chicken eggs, and the result is some sort of.
And I think an ostrich egg was used as well to make a bigger one.
What? How is this real?
They're on. It's on YouTube, yeah, and they look crazy.
Well, yeah, it might not be real. It might be fake, but the videos are real. There are real videos showing this, whether it's special effects or, actual homunculi is up for you to decide.
I see. Here's a video. Man creates monster in his basement with sperm and chicken eggs.
But there's a lot of people who, attempted this.
And were successful?
That there's videos.
What? How have you not tried this? What is required to make one of these things? I find it hard to believe that you. I find it hard to believe that you. I find it hard to believe that you watch one of these videos and we're like, shit, I should try and make one of these things.
I didn't have chickens at the time, but now that I do, I'm wondering why I haven't myself.
Dude, there's a whole fucking genre of all these people who are like making homunculi.
Yeah, it's a big rabbit hole to go down.
That's insane, but there's like so many videos. When it's like, it seems so preposterous. Like a fucking egg is not even fertilized.
Yeah, well, there's there's a hybrid dog fox in captivity right now, which is the first ever confirmed hybrid of those they thought they couldn't breed. And there's been a bunch of other stories about animals, weird hybrids that they didn't think were possible. So, are homunculi really as impossible? I remember the spider goats that Alex Jones talks about, and way back they mixed a mouse embryo with an elephant, or an elephant embryo with mouse sperm, and created life. So it's like these vastly different animals it is possible to make life from them. So why not, human sperm and chicken egg? I don't know.
Right. Like, I guess. And is it similar to like a donkey, how they can't reproduce?
It depends, but yeah, there are several very recent stories about animals with different numbers of chromosomes reproducing, and ligers who they thought were like donkeys that couldn't, or mules or whatever, that couldn't reproduce. A liger just gave birth. So these, different number chromosome animals are mating, and now these new animals are mating and giving birth on top of that.
Jeez.
Anything's possible.
I guess, yeah. I thought that was kind of the whole deal, is if they had different amounts of chromosomes, right, then they cannot.
That's what we were told, but that doesn't seem true.
And what else have they been lying to us about? All right. Well, if anybody is watching right now, please go try and make yourself your own homemade homunculus. Just grab an egg, and I guess, what do? You jack off in like a cup or something?
You just tap a little hole in the top, you jizz in the top of it, and then put some tape on top of it to seal it back up. Let it sit for a while.
I bought a homunculus owner's manual.
Oh, okay. You have a homunculus owner's manual?
Yeah, it goes over it. I haven't done it yet, though.
Okay. Well, someone please go do this, and then not next week, because there's no show next week, but in 2 weeks, please report back.
Well, that's perfect. I think it takes about 2 weeks.
Okay, so someone, if this is possible, I want one person at least to have their own homunculus by next show, please, because that'll be amazing. All right, Goob. Anything else?
That sounds great. No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Take care. That was Goob, everybody. Homunculus. So the guy who you were talking about homunculus with, that one guy, did he try and make one? Because I've never even heard of this.
He knows everything about the homunculus. Like,
can they be tamed?
I think, I think I think it goes in. You could do whatever you want to your homunculus, and people are like doing all sorts of things,
like bad things,
like naughty things and stuff. Yeah. He's. You got to talk to this one guy about it, because he could go on for hours and hours talking
about the homunculus. All right. All right. Let's take another call here. One moment, please. Oh man, my earth is shattered with this homunculus thing. I cannot believe you can just make one. All right. Are you there, caller?
Yeah. What's up, Danny? It's Sean from Pittsburgh.
Sean from Pittsburgh. How's it going, man?
It's going great, man. This is it's been a very very entertaining show. So I just want to ask the guest, the Antichrist. Is this a character that we have already experienced? Is this somebody that's going to come along with the eclipse that's coming, or is this something that we need to look forward to? And that's about it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. It's a topic I'm ignorant about. So I don't know.
You don't know about the Antichrist?
I don't. I don't know.
He doesn't really come up in your works.
I haven't read the Bible, so I don't know. I just know like the principles behind the way Jesus lived, because I'm in recovery, and like I know that. The Sermon on the Mount stuff. And it's good.
Okay, cool. And Mark in the chat is telling me we will have one on a future episode, so we can discuss that more. All right, let's take another call then. No dice on the Antichrist. Hold on.
I think the Antichrist, from my memory, people are gonna love him, right? Sounds like Elon. I'm ignorant on the.
Yeah. Caller, are you there?
Hello. Oh, hear me?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? I just wanted to ask Doenut. You're a numbers guy, right?
I do like the numbers. Yes.
What you think about the number 1488?
1488.
Slap.
Is it connected to Zebedee Zevi?
No, it's like a Hitler thing.
1488.
14 words. The 14 words and
I thought you're Jewish.
Who, me?
No,
what
Slav.
again? Yeah,
No, Slav.
yeah. I am. Yeah, I am.
Oh, you're just wondering if there's any sort of other.
You know, I don't know. Nothing off the top of my head. I thought you were talking about the year.
What happened in the year 1488?
Well, what is it? The 14 words are: we must secure the existence of our people in the future for white children.
White.
I mean, hey,
you got to say it like that, though. White.
White, yeah. Well, I mean, white people kind of rule, but no, I mean, I was just throwing that out there. But all this,
I'll look
stuff,
into it,
dude. I thought, yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, you don't even have to look into it. You just feel it. You know it. It's real for what it is. You know, we got to secure the future for the white race. Yada yada.
Yeah. Okay.
All this stuff with this Eclipse stuff. I mean, I saw the one last year. It's all right. Yeah, it's like 5 minutes of like, ooh, look at
there was
this,
an eclipse last year. No, they're saying this one's like the fucking biggest one for like 20 years or something. They don't happen every year.
There was one last year, bro. You don't remember that? I have like.
I remember the one where Trump was staring at the sun.
Yeah, and like the astrologers all throughout time said not to look at the eclipse. And Trump looked at the eclipse, and from that day, like it was sort of like the downfall of the media coming out, going after him, doing like, you know what I mean?
Well, I guess it's like the totality of them. Yeah. Because I guess Mark's here saying they do happen every year, but I guess there's just some are better than others. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a different. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I take it. You're going to have prime viewing for the eclipse where you're at.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm in the whatever full totality, whatever. Yeah, that whole little chart thing that shows you on the map. Yeah, I'm like right in the smack dab middle.
Are they where you live? Are they issuing are they saying on the news like for people to prepare and shit?
Prepare for fucking what?
Dude, there's some places where they're like issuing state of emergencies in advance of this thing because they're like, there's gonna be long lines for gas.
Do I sound like the kind of person who gives a goddamn shit?
I'm not saying you're gonna do it. I'm saying, are they saying it on the fucking news and shit? Like telling all the people.
Do you think I watch the news? I watch the news?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, you've
been calling me worried about it. People have been calling me worried about
what is it? What is it? All that stuff about them like bringing, like National Guard troops and all that stuff. I mean, one of those things is like the population of Travis County, which is like the primary county where Austin is gonna like double because all these people are just gonna influx in. I mean, and like one of the legit things is just like traffic management. I mean, dude, we're like in the middle of the bluebonnet bloom. So like all over Texas, you just have bluebonnets springing up everywhere. And motherfuckers, like every single year, people will just be like staring off, like they'll be driving on the freeway going like 70, staring off at like these beautiful fields of bluebonnets. I mean, they are very pretty, but then they just like crashing because they ain't paying attention. Or they're like, they pull over on the side.
Wait, you're saying the flowers are causing people to crash their cars? The beauty of the flowers is causing people to crash their cars?
You ever seen the bluebonnet?
No, but I don't think it would make me crash my fucking car.
No, like if you see them in person, they're very blue and violet, like they're very vibrant, they're very, very pretty. I mean, it draws your eyes. You're like, people every single fucking year. These people, they're just kind of retarded. It's fine, They're not gonna be a little retarded. Yeah, sure. No, but yeah, people just get distracted and like they'll either pull off on the side of the highway, and so many people are doing it, or they just swerve off, not paying attention. And one of those things is like, yeah, there are gonna be people driving on the highway, like So they're predicting like the population of Travis County is gonna like double, which is gonna be annoying.
That sounds like it'll be annoying. Good for the economy, though. Great for the economy.
Yeah, I mean,
I know. It's not
anytime
actually
there's anytime there's an influx of unwanted people, they always say, "Oh, it's good for the economy."
Well, it's literally the only bright side of the whole thing. All right, Slav. Thanks, dude.
I mean, less people. I hope the eclipse just kills everybody, bro. Just kills all the unwanted people.
Might be you, man. If it's biblical, it might be you. All right, thanks, Slav. Slav, everybody. All right, we got some wacky people on here. Let's take another call. 1 moment, please. Thank you again, Doenut, for joining me today.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. Make sure to smash that like button if you're watching.
Smash it. Conspiracy extremist. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Danny?
How is it going?
It's great, man. I'm sitting here thinking of like 6 million things to talk about. So
6 million, you say?
6 million.
So you guys, I do have something for Doenut I want to ask too, but you're mentioning the red heifers. So I don't know if you guys got to the end of it, but basically they have to slaughter these perfect cows so they can sanitize the third temple that they rebuild with the ashes of those cows to bring, so they can worship there and bring your Messiah.
Mashiach.
What's weird?
Mashiach.
Yeah. And so like I'm doing a deep dive on this tomorrow night on my little podcast that no one watches, but the correlation between this comet is crazy because the comet is the path of the comet goes over, I think it's like 10 cities named Nineveh. And I don't know if you're familiar with Nineveh, but that's it's a city that Jonah went to go like preach God to in the Old Testament.
How do you spell that?
Nineveh. N-I-N.
Because I heard someone say, I heard someone say something about that somewhere recently, and I thought they were talking about Nunavut in northern Canada. But
no, yeah, it's Nineveh, and it's from the Bible. It's Jonah, the guy that was in the big fish, the belly of the fish for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got out of the fish and went to Nineveh, and God told him to preach and tell them to repent, and they did. So there's a lot of, I guess, coincidences between like biblical stuff with all
there is no
coincidences
coincidences.
Right now in Israel.
There is no coincidences.
Right, man. Yeah, I hear it. And then the stuff about shooting rockets at the eclipse as well too. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. But
so, what are your thoughts on the eclipse? Do you have any takes on what's going on?
On me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's. So what NASA says, I don't really believe. I think there's something that we don't really know that's happening. It is like there's something special about it that I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anything bad, but I think the people that do believe, they, like the prophecies in the Bible, which I do. I mean, I'm a Christian or whatever, but I think there's something about this eclipse that is going to have some sort of resonating effect. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's something that's, that world's going to end. Like, I mean, I know Slav, he's ready for us all to blow up, but I don't think so.
What's your podcast name?
Oh, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Okay, I'll go subscribe.
Yeah, 11 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday night on
nice.
Rumble and YouTube.
Good time.
But yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow in the correlation. But also, I know you're at the Bohemian Bro comedy thing with Sam.
Oh yeah, that was so tight.
Did you get to hang out with the Top Lobster and Corbo?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was great, dude. It was so much fun.
Yeah, they're talking about doing it next year, so I'll be there next year if y'all are doing that again. But yeah, I heard it was really cool, so that's awesome. With Juan on Juan, you guys are talking about the homunculus too, Danny.
Have you ever tried to make one?
Me, no, hell no, I don't mess with that stuff.
All you need is an egg and the fucking
the biggest
2 minutes,
or the philosopher's stone,
or the philosopher's stone.
Yeah. The philosopher's stone. Apparently, you can make it with that with alchemy, according to an anime. So.
All right, I guess these are kind of the dark arts that you don't want to tempt anything by trying to go going to make them, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. I'd be scared, like I'd curse myself or some shit. But you should definitely have Juan on. He talked about homunculuses. He knows his stuff.
I want to know if he's tried. Did you ever ask him when you had him on, Doenut? Did he try and make one?
I'm not sure if he did, but he knows how to. If he
knows
wanted to, he did. He could.
That'd be. I don't know how if I knew how to make a homunculus, I don't know how there'd be a scenario I wouldn't try. You know what I mean? Like, could you fucking resist that? Having that
But
knowledge?
you gotta find like the biggest dog wang on the block. That's too much work. Like, it's hard enough for me to do my laundry.
Yeah, I feel you. Still though, man.
I already have 4 little kids. I don't need any more little things running around.
Yeah, I guess for you, if you got 4 kids, then yeah, you don't need to go fucking around and making a homunculus. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Anything else?
All right, thanks, dude.
All right, later.
Thank you.
Later.
Later. All right, let's take another call here. Where are we at? Okay.
You ever had Fago? They got Fago in New York.
Of course. Man, I used to have, when I was in Canada, we had Fago all the time. It was the shit. Hello, caller.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Doenut. Great show tonight. Really digging
thanks, man.
all the variety of topics.
Appreciate it. What's up?
And, all these different conspiracy topics or alternative history or, occult esoteric stuff, I've always been fascinated by it, but I'm worried that the Sora and all of the AI stuff, the future of researching this will be impossible.
For sure. That's why
yeah, I could see that. Sorry. Yeah, I was just agreeing with him.
You got to start downloading the PDFs, buying the books while you can.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by all these topics, but it seems like every day there's just something new, more ridiculous. And as much as I do it, I start to feel jaded, like, oh, this is just a circus. Every day is more and more ridiculous. How do I take anything seriously, even when it's, relevant or I don't know?
You have any advice there, Doenut?
Well, it's like with the whole jaded thing and being apathetic, that's the mission, is to get everybody into apathy, to be like Cartman, to be like, whatever, I do what I want. Just not care anymore. And you can kind of see that in society already. Like, people don't care anymore. People don't got.
Well, it's like there's an increase in curiosity, but it's being stifled with almost too much disinformation. Like, I think half the conspiracies are probably psyops.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I've been following this stuff for a decade, and I almost notice now there's a pattern where new ideas or concepts will be flooded onto YouTube. Like Tartaria came out of nowhere, took off, and I don't know how much validity it has. Or there's the other one that's connected with Tartaria, the preterism, the idea that 1,000 years were added to our history that weren't there, and really the Armageddon and rapture already happened, and we're living past that.
Yeah, Cal Sunstein released this report before he got hired because of the report, I think, for Obama, to how to like flood the disinformation in these different some
circles, kind of, yeah.
And then and I talked to Dr. Rick Spence, who taught at Idaho like 35 years on history and secret societies. And there's disinformation, misinformation. Misinformation means you just made a mistake. Disinformation is that you have most of it true, but the call to action is leading you in the wrong way. But absolutely, there's so much BS out there for sure.
How do you discern some of the new stuff coming out, like Tartaria in particular? Do you buy into that one?
I don't really know. I kind of just go with my excitement. I'm excited about dolphins, so I research Illuminati dolphins. There's something up with these buildings. I think there are like resets because it doesn't make any sense and I'm not. I read this book, great book by Oxford scholar called "The Demon and the Ecker." And it goes into like the pyramids, right? And how ancient they are, like they're older than we think that they are. And they have like paintings in Mesopotamia, which is really far away, of these smooth-sided pyramids, which are the ones in Egypt. So I think that there are these resets, but for information reasons, they might give you all this truth, but that call to action or one key element leads you in the wrong direction.
And I think
So I think you're on
a lie. They get people to buy into it by giving you a nugget of truth, because then it resonates with us on like an intuitive level. But then they misguide us with, you're right, with the call to action or the main point. And like, NASA firing rockets at the shadow of the eclipse, like it starts to not even sound real. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, that's the easiest way to muddy the waters with any sort of conspiracy stuff, is literally just add in 500 different things, and then people kind of, certain people will grasp onto these things, and then it just kind of, it's almost like taking you off the scent.
With the talk of the red heifers, it almost seems like there's a lot of conspiracies that are feeding the flames of, oh, the Armageddon's about to happen, or the rapture, the end of days is coming. Maybe, or maybe it's just the perfect thing to get people all riled up. And
it's probably more likely that, because at the end of the day, people have been calling for the end of days since the concept of end of days pretty much started, and they've all been wrong.
Yeah.
Like literally everybody.
Every year there's a new one.
Don't you remember the Mayan?
Yeah, go ahead. Get a kick out of this. So I'm going to Texas to see the eclipse, and I have a buddy that's paranoid that they're going to drop a dome over the state.
They're going to drop a dome.
In a very narcissistic world right now. And what that means is that people have murdered their self through emotions and who they are. And that's what narcissism is. And everyone has a high importance of themselves. So everyone thinks that like they're so important that they get to live through like the end days, maybe. But maybe they will. But I think that like all throughout history, everyone thinks it's the end days, and maybe it is, maybe it's not. It feels like it though, for sure. Like
yeah.
Maybe. It's a simulation theory, and it feels like this is just a really intense video game, and there's never a real ending or conclusion, but every day is just another thing that keeps you on the edge of your seat. I mean, if this is a simulation, it's well made. I'm captivated. Really
solid simulation.
Everyone's pretty captivated.
That's true.
Or have you guys heard about Wetiko? It's the idea of where evil comes from and kind of where narcissism comes from. That's
what's it called?
Effectively, our collective conscious. Wetiko with a W. It's the Native American philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah, and it implies that basically we're all one mind, and our collective shadow wants us to be narcissistic, wants us to be ignorant, and so there's this, hidden hand or unseen energy in the world that's promoting ignorance and confusion and selfishness. And I see a lot of it, and I used to think, oh, it's CIA or secret societies, but it's too widespread. I feel like it's a paranormal or spiritual phenomenon, not necessarily just corrupt humans.
I agree.
Interesting. Yeah, Mark says Wetiko is a Canadian Native American idea. So, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
The dome thing. So your friend thinks that you guys are going to Texas to watch the eclipse, and he thinks that a dome is going to be put over just the state of Texas.
He sent me some YouTube video that supposedly is a whistleblower that works for some branch in the military, saying that they're going to drop a bioweapon over Texas, and then they're going to put all these localized domes over the town, like the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's absurd. But
that is absurd.
So I don't know how to discern anything.
Yeah, but there's various degrees of absurdity, and that one's pretty up there. Although if they could figure out a way to put a dome over the whole state, they could figure out the immigration issue. So,
but also like if it
was going to happen anywhere, that makes sense.
They sent everybody to their rooms worldwide. Like that sounds pretty absurd too.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. They grounded every person on Earth, so that is
After
true.
that, I feel like I can't question anything. Everything's on the table.
Yeah. All right. Well, we shall see. Where in Texas are you watching it?
Going towards Burnett. It's going to be right in the path of totality, so you'll actually see stars and it'll get cold and dark. It's pretty surreal.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be in Dallas watching it, so we'll see.
You gonna get some footage
You'll
of
see
it?
some cool shadows.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
bet.
going to last like 5 minutes. I went to the one years ago in Oregon, and that was only a minute or two. But, you know, it felt much longer just because it's such a unique thing. And
Cool.
I kind of feel like it's an omen. You know, the sun keeps all the plants alive, keeps us alive, and it's being blocked out. I feel like that's not something to celebrate, but I'm curious. I want to be there. I want to see it.
Interesting take on that.
I always do like the opposite of what everybody's doing. So if everybody gonna do this, like when the elections happen with the greatest president, Joe Biden and Trump, I was like, I'm not gonna watch this. I am gonna go read the CIA documents on how they were astral traveling. And that was like the greatest thing that I've ever done because it really broke me from the left-right paradigm. In a big way. I already know like a lot.
About?
Well, I'm just saying
about
like I'm just saying that the crowd is usually wrong.
That's true. Yeah, that's
yeah,
a pretty
and
pretty good bet.
prediction is usually not true. If anything that does happen, usually is a surprise. So I'm ready.
Yeah.
And it's like
yeah. No, go ahead, Doenut.
It's like a movie script. Everything that is happening on the world stage and the reports in every single news agency, even the truther news agencies, all report on the same topics with the same headlines because it's a story for the world to watch. And if you a good story writer will have cliffhangers and the most important one, the element of surprise. That's why we're always surprised by things that happen. Like, what? I didn't see that happening because this is a scripted reality that we're living in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, caller.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Let's take another call. One moment, please.
Well, smash that like button. We got hundreds of people up in here.
Yeah. Hit the like button. We got Kyle.
Hello?
Kyle, how's it going, man?
Yo.
Hey, Danny. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I'm calling in today. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Nice.
And
love it. Love to hear it.
I've had a story tucked under my hat since October, and I've been holding on to it and figured we might all die after this story, but let's get it out there.
Let's hear it.
So I was in southeastern Ontario in a very rich area in late October.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hanging out with, I was on a fishing trip.
Okay.
And I met some really interesting Canadian fellas. One of them's an investment banker and one of them's a defense contractor.
Okay.
Defense contractor is in Saudi Arabia, lives there most of the year. 6 months of the year he's there. The other 6 months he's in Thailand. So, being the situation that happened in October, I asked him what was up with that, right? Was Hamas attacking Israel or what instigated that? And his theory on that was that Russia perpetrated or pushed Iran to push Hamas into action in order to take pressure off of Russia in Ukraine, because now the West has to divert funding to two fronts.
Makes sense. If I don't know like the kind of geopolitical workings, if that's something they have the power to do, but it certainly makes sense as a theory.
Right. So then I asked him even further. I was like, so what was the deal with COVID then? And he had a very interesting response, one that I hadn't heard yet. So his thing was that without actually directly saying it, we did create COVID. We unleashed COVID in China. The idea is that China has become too powerful.
Yeah.
And we need to do something to correct that, right? And there is no really way of doing it. We don't want a hot war. So economics is the way to go. So when COVID happened, the whole world shut down their economies. This also forced China to shut down their economy, right? All their factories closed.
And they shut down pretty harder than
they did.
Yeah, they shut down pretty hard.
So what happened during that time frame is a bunch of manufacturing plants moved out of China into Vietnam and Thailand. So the reason for this is while China was shut down, we had time to build and we wouldn't lose ground in the market, right? So the idea with manufacturing, if you lose a year's production, you'll never get back in the market, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
When they
and who has the who has the investments in he's back. Who has the investments in Thailand and Vietnam? Like, is that the West like owns those facilities?
No, this is even deeper, Danny. This is where it gets real wild.
Okay.
So back in the early 1940s and 50s, the dynasty families in China had just witnessed what happened in Russia with Lenin. They just witnessed what happened in Germany with Hitler. So when Mao came around and they saw the writing was on the wall, they pulled their money out of China and moved to Thailand and Vietnam. So this would be like the royal family of Britain being kicked out of China with all their money still.
Right.
And now they're operating out of Vietnam and Thailand to try to gain ground back.
Interesting. I mean, I've never heard that theory before, but if that's, and I mean, shit, man, that doesn't seem that crazy. Like, it does seem.
No, it doesn't seem that crazy.
The dots kind of connect there for sure.
Everything is like a psychological operation. For example, you got George Soros, who was kicked out of China, and then China, after they did that, their country got better. And like, you could just look at America. We want to be TikTok influencers, and they got engineers there. And even in the media, though, now in a lot of Asian movies, I could see that they're trying to get people away from the becoming engineers and stuff and go more for some TikTok stuff. But then George Soros is here, and he funds like Palestine protest as well. So everything is so confusing, and it's camouflage. You got these ideologies behind that aren't part of any of like the three Abrahamic religions. Those are just used as camouflage. People could just show up like, yo, I'm a Republican today, or I'm a Democrat tomorrow. But like, agendas behind the scene, it's Satanism at the end of the day. Not maybe like Satanism, like your Satanist down the street who just listens to Marilyn Manson, but just the ideology of just disorder and stuff like that. Because isn't that interesting? Like, just all that. Yeah. I got a prediction that popped in my head, and I think that it's interesting. Now I'll go into about Taylor Swift and earthquakes at the end of the month.
Let's hear
it. So I just was thinking, because I went and took a piss. That's where I went. And that's where my greatest ideas come from.
Wait, you just had this epiphany right now?
Just right now, yeah.
Okay, Taylor Swift and earthquakes.
It's because when the water's flowing, like, that's where the ideas come from, because water is information and it's conscious, and like, you know what I'm saying, man? It's like the guy who created the most patents, for example, he walks around water every day. So there's something to it, though. We get the best ideas in the shower.
Yeah.
Like, I get the best ideas when I'm peeing. So I was there and I was thinking, prediction. I'm doing my prediction. April 19th, which is National Acid Day. And then you got 420, which is
April 19th is National Acid Day.
Yeah. It's also known as Bicycle Day. It's when they first.
Oh, Bicycle. Yeah. Right. That's when Albert Hoffman.
You know that movie, They Live?
Yeah.
They wear the Hoffman lenses. Hoffman's the guy who created acid.
Yeah, Albert Hoffman, yeah.
But that goes back to the Eleusinian mysteries where a lot of these secret society cults are stemming from. But I think there'll be an earthquake April 19th, the day Taylor Swift drops her album, because Taylor Swift all in the news and whatnot, but she had a concert and there was an earthquake because her fans were so excited they caused an actual earthquake. So that's just my prediction. I'm throwing it out there.
I mean, if you're right, man, that'll be a pretty impressive prediction. Earthquake on the day that the Taylor Swift concert comes out, or album.
April 19th.
April 19th. All right. And I'll be in Hamilton, Ontario at Levity Comedy Club. All right. Anything else, caller? Do you have more about this story? Was there more to this? Because it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Nope, that was kind of it.
Did you ever get a chance to hang out with that guy again?
Run into.
Did you ever get a chance to hang out with that guy?
I don't know if I'll meet him again. I actually don't know if I even know his real name, to be honest with you.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was. He was in Canada for a funeral, and that's how I met him. Is
okay.
What was the guy's house I was staying at? Yeah, is where he was staying, right?
Oh, okay. Was this in like Peterborough?
Out
there?
No. Let's go a little further east. Glengarry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
All right. Have a good one.
Take care. All right. 10:40. We got time for a couple more calls. Let's take one here. One moment, please. We got Format on the line. Let's see if he can unmute himself. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me. Please smash the like button. I gave away some channel memberships. Thank you for signing up for the memberships as well. Format seems like a smart guy, but then he can't figure out how to unmute this. So we'll get him, though. He'll eventually figure it out. So while we're waiting for Format, what do you got coming up next? You do a show, what, a couple times a week?
Yeah, I'll put out probably 3 videos a week. I got a bunch of interviews that I've done. There's so much in the news right now. I got to look into Diddy. I got to look into.
What do you make of this Diddy stuff? The Diddler. Actually, no, we got Format on the line. Hold on, and we'll come back to the Diddler stuff. Format, what's up, man?
I'm back. Hey, how you doing, Danny?
Good. How are you?
Dope. All right. So, Doenut, I had a question for you. So you believe in like astral projection and remote viewing and whatnot based off our comment I think I heard earlier?
No. I don't. I just read the CIA papers that were talking about that. That they would do that. That's what they were doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just gonna grill you if you do believe in it, because I've heard so many people talk about it, like they talk about it like they can teach you how to do it. But it's like, like ask anyone to like.
If I could do it, bro, if I could have some travel, I would be doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since you don't, that's all I really have to ask. All right.
Oh,
okay.
All
right, boys.
All right. Thanks, Format. No astral viewing. Unfortunately for Format. So tell us more about this. Do you have any theories about this Diddy stuff? Because people are saying this is another Epstein and
right
sexual blackmail.
Yeah, it absolutely is happening, like stuff like that. I just talked to Nick Bryant, who released the Epstein.
Yeah, he was a guest on the show, actually.
Oh, okay. Great guy.
Yeah, he's a man.
I talked to Jay Dyer as well about espionage, and he coined the term sexpionage and talked about that. It's how the world actually operates is through blackmail, and it's absolutely going on. But just because they're switching power positions in the hands of power into someone else doesn't mean it's going to go away. So maybe it's just a bread and circus. And this is just my thoughts thinking about it, but I'm going to look into it. And I really haven't looked into it deeply yet. But something I did notice that I did look into is Easter, which was yesterday.
Yesterday was not Easter. Yesterday was Transvisibility Day.
Okay, yes. They changed the name to Transvisibility Day.
Okay,
and this is how the
Yeah.
No, but that's true though. For some reason, this left-wing ideology, they call it Easter worshipers. So Obama and Clinton, for example, got sick on 3/22, went to Yale as well. They call, when that terrible event happened in Sri Lanka, they said the terrible event happened to the Easter worshipers. And then this year, it wasn't really reported on, but in the mainstream news, they say Easter worshipers crashed in a bus, 45 perished. So there's like some weird ritual happening there. And then that same left wing changes the name of Easter, which I hear goes back to Ishtar as well. It's another symbol I look into a lot. That they turn it to this, what's it called?
Transvisibility? Transvisibility?
So it's called
just so we see them.
So this is how the simulacrum works. On Transvisibility Day, you have Mr. Beast trending #1 or #2, but trending in the top Google algorithm. His colors of his logo is the flag of that. And
the trans colors are kind of similar to the Easter colors, like the pastels and stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And even like, I feel bad because I didn't know about this, but my friend Ani Asaru, he taught me this because I didn't know that there was color coding and symbolism, because donuts too, they got like that color. So I was like, dang it. But but this is how the simulacrum works.
What are the color coding symbolism things?
It's pink, blue, and white. And that's Mr. Beast's logo. It's mostly just pink and blue.
Yeah.
And that is the color of Mr. Beast. And he was trending while they changed this day, and his best friend is like part of that whole narrative.
Mm-hmm.
There was some more stuff going on. Let me look. I got the picture up here. Let me pull it up. Yeah, so like that's just how the simulacrum works. When Joe Biden was pooped on a bird, Twitter was purchased, the blue bird was purchased by Elon, and the birds aren't real was airing on 60 Minutes, and that was on May 1st, the Illuminati founding day. So like that's what I mean, how instead of one radio show, they hit you with so much symbolism and
all at
priming.
once.
Yeah.
And now, and this is a question that we ask all the time of our guests. Who is they?
Oh, they?
The Illuminati?
Illuminati is part of it. Yeah, it just
shadow government, maybe shadow government, like
goes back to the Hammurabi Code. Like it goes back all the time. People trying to control the world. But yeah, the thing is, you're not going to know who they are. They'll put up scapegoats and names and people. So we're not going to know who they are. But people do good research and look into it, and you could kind of connect the dots as well. But it's also a spiritual thing, good and evil. Like there's good people, there's evil people. Like it's just
right. All right, let's take one last call from the night. Thank you again, Doenut, for joining me. It's the Dolphins, yo. We got Mike on the line. One moment, please, while he unmutes himself. I wish there was a faster way of doing this. I wish I was allowed to unmute. Hey, Mike.
I think I got it. How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you? Final caller of the night. What is your question, or what did you want?
Cool. Got it. Awesome. I heard you guys talking about symbolism and some of the different codes that are used, and I want you to wanted to ask you how ubiquitous do you think those things are, and do you think it's something that the powers that be are kind of instilling on people below them to go and be as forthcoming as possible with that symbolism? Like, hey, use these colors, Mr. Beast, and I want you to use these symbols that are known bad symbols out there when you're doing your marketing and whatnot. Is it a slap in the face to the people, or is there something hidden there?
Yeah, so symbols control the world. That's what, like somebody said a long time ago. And the power of symbols are so powerful. If you show a symbol, let's say a MAGA hat, right, is a symbol. Sure. You wear that out, people are going to start crying and stuff. You know what I mean? It's that powerful. So a symbol is very, very powerful. But there are no bad symbols. They just whatever ideas and ideologies get placed on it, where people develop belief systems of the symbol, it will freak them out. But it could go even deeper though too, on like what's something I've been looking into. So that's my answer. But to get even deeper is, in alchemy, they like charge like vessels or containers with certain symbols in a dome, like in a container, and then they play music. So if you look at the old churches, how they're built magnificently, and the music that goes in the organs, like it puts everybody in a better mood, like a higher frequency or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So think about like a casino. They got all those patterns on the ground, and you're in this container, and they're playing music to keep you in the casino longer and longer. So it's charging something. That's probably not making any sense, but I think
No. You're getting there. That does make sense. I always thought of it as like, why take the risk of showing certain symbols if it's going to associate with you with something unsavory, right? Like, why would they take those certain risks? But no, what you're saying does make sense.
Yeah.
I guess I can get them out in other ways. I guess there's other ways to do that. Yeah. Cool, caller. Anything else?
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. No, that's it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. All right, that's been the show. I just want to give a shout out to Assword, Vincent, Fran for the super chats, and Travelbuds and David, Travelbuds 710 and David for joining the channel. Doenut, where can people find you?
Oh, you can just go to the YouTube. Just look up Doenut, DOENUT.
Yeah, or do-nut.com. And we will be back with a new episode of The Bathhouse tomorrow night, 9 p.m. That is the new day and time for The Bathhouse, the ultimate comedy hang. Please join us. No low value mail next week because I will be trapped under a dome in Dallas, Texas, watching the eclipse. So there will be no show, but we'll be back the following week. Thank you very much, everybody. Shout out to our lovely producer, Mark, for running everything behind the scenes. Couldn't have done it without him. We will see all of you hopefully tomorrow night on The Bathhouse. Good night, everybody.
Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurt. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5, got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenal. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't want to turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't want to turn on my light switch. Yeah, and they tried to down me on some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't want to turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. They don't want to turn on my light switch. Yeah, they don't want to turn on my light switch. They don't want to turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't want to turn on my light switch. Yeah, then they tried to down me on some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't want to turn on my light switch. Yeah, I'm pulling up fresh on some